What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone Lite. Oh yeah, guys, so last episode we set up a way for us to get fortune on all of our meshes for sifting, which was really awesome. I left that going overnight with our gravel. We don't have a lot in here anymore. Well, I guess we've collected about 1,800. We're at 0. Like, it was making it, sifting it immediately, and we were done. I switched it over to use sand now. We had quite a lot of sand in here. How much is in there? Does it say? It's really hard to tell with these drawers because it doesn't say here, like the number's overwrite. It doesn't say on the tooltip. Yeah, it's very hard to tell. And if we go over into our applied energistics, it doesn't give us an exact number. I think it's in the 300,000s though. Oh no, 590,000. Yeah, we have quite a lot of sand here. I guess we could see how many is in that stack by the EMC because I think it's 1 EMC per, it says EMC 1. So I guess we have 590,120. Anyway. So we got a lot of that. I switched it over from gravel to that. And yeah, we are collecting it now. But then we were talking about last episode how there's a sieve efficiency. And then I said I was going to check that out. So I went ahead and I made myself an enchantment table. Yep, just one of these. Place it down. Got myself some books since we had extras of those and some lapis. The only thing I did, just set it down, no bookshelves, nothing, just one of those, and just checked out until we got Civ Efficiency 1. It only took me about 3 enchantments, I think. It wasn't super long until we got that. So yeah, we got Civ Efficiency. I took it over to our Bibliocraft over here. I turned it into a Civ Efficiency 2, then 3, then 4, and then we have 3 of the Civ Efficiency 5s after we copied those. I took the one book and all 25 of our meshes downstairs, enchanted them, and put them back. This thing is going crazy, guys. Like, you can see the items just appearing and going away, like, immediately. Like, it takes 3, I think that's 3 right clicks, and then everything's done. So, it's going super fast, and we're getting a lot of items because of the fortune, right? Yeah, it's ridiculous how fast this is going, but we can make it go faster. And I kind of want to do it just a little bit. You can kind of see over here the Certus Quartz, since that's like the most common item that we're getting from sifting for sand. You can see that number just climbing up pretty quickly. You can see how fast like we're getting both the charge and the regular Certus. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, we're getting lots of stuff. So I kind of want to get some more speed upgrades for our, what is it called? The mechanical user over here. So yeah, we can look at this. We can see there's 4 speed upgrades. Now it says max upgrade 64. That is incorrect. Extra Utilities has changed their speed upgrades now. So these stack to 4. And then if you want to go higher than 4, you have to upgrade to the magical tier. And I don't know how high these stack to because I've never made more than 8 of them. They might stack up to 8. They might stack up to 16. But anyway, if you want to go beyond that, you have to go to the ultimate ones. So our next stop is to make the speed upgrade magicals, and I kind of want to do that. So magical apple plus the enchanted ingot and the speed upgrade upgrades it to the next tier. So the magical apple, you can make a magical wood and surround it with apples to get this, or you can use the enchanter from Extra Utilities to 16 apples plus 1 lapis gives you this, but it takes 20 seconds. I think that's pretty reasonable. Otherwise, we can do this, which is a bookshelf plus gold and 4 XP in your crafting grid to make that. Maybe it'd be faster that way since we have a lot of XP stored. I don't know. I kind of want to make the enchanter. Now, the other thing is we need to make these enchanted ingots, and to do that, we need the enchanter anyway. So that's gold plus lapis. It takes 10 seconds to make one of those in 8,000 RF. And then we can also speed up the enchanter with speed upgrades, right? So it can go faster. I think this is something that I want to look at doing. So let's go ahead and make ourselves an enchanter. Well, let's take a look at the recipe for that. So the enchanter itself from Extra Utilities to, oh, that requires stuff that we can't do yet. Oh boy, I wasn't even expecting any of this. A hyper diamond created by putting graphite dust into an explosion. What is all of this? Okay. I really wasn't expecting it to cost all of that to do this. Oh my goodness. Advanced circuit. Okay, so this is better than the quantum flux default recipe, I think. And we have everything to make that except for this hyper diamond. So maybe we should take a look at graphite dust. I don't even know what graphite dust is. So that's from Quantum Flux. And it doesn't show us how to get that item. So there is industrial grade graphite ore from Quantum Flux, and there doesn't appear to be recipes for either of these. So how do we get the hyper diamond from Quantum Flux if the graphite dust that's required and the ore that's required has no recipes? That is quite the thing. Now I wonder if we go into our quest book, it's right here, and we go, is there a thing for that somewhere in here? I imagine there probably would be. We have a couple of quests to complete. Man, I kind of want to just go off and do this, but it looks like we're going to be held back. Oh no. And I'm not seeing anything here. Extreme reactors, mechanical revolution. Yeah, I'm not sure where that's going to be in here. I might take a moment here, look through Quantum Flux, see if I can find anything in JEI. Maybe there's a book in here or something. Yeah, there's got to be something. Okay, I'll take a look through here real quick and see what I can come up with. So I went off to the internet. I was looking up how to get these diamonds and stuff. I wasn't really finding much information, but it does look like in order to get the graphite dust, we're going to have to mine this industrial grade graphite ore. And I can only imagine, since there's no recipe to get this spawns naturally probably in like the mining dimension or someplace else that we can go to farm. Yeah, I don't think we can do this just yet. It's sad, I know. I wanted to see this thing go like super light speed. It's already going like pretty darn fast, right? But to get this thing going like really fast, that'll be awesome. I guess we'll have to hold off on that for later. Until then, it'll just go this speed. Oh well. So what I wanted to work on today, guys, I wanted to start getting our applied energistics a little bit more auto-crafty than where we are right now. So currently we have this much storage space for all of our different patterns and auto crafts. Not a whole lot, right? And then we also want to get like the upgrades in here, the acceleration upgrades. So when we do auto craft something, it'll go fast. It won't just go like the default slow speed. So I want to expand out all of this. I would like to try and work on getting our advanced inscribers. Well, we only have one. I would like to make more than one. And then I'd also like to try and get those automated so I can say, hey, make me an engineering processor, and it just happens, right? So in order to do that, we're definitely going to need more of these inscribers. So let's take a look at that. So to get the inscriber, we saw this recipe before, but we need engineering processors, 2 of those. We need the inscriber itself, which is sticky pistons, fluex, and some iron. All those resources are no longer an issue. I'm not really sure if they were an issue before, but making multiple of these definitely won't be an issue because we have lots of resources right now. Our iron, we have 53,000 of these iron ore chunks. So double that once we process it. Yeah, we have a lot of iron. Plus we already have like 700 ingots ready to go right away. So I think that's what we're going to start working on. I'm going to go ahead and start making up some of these machines here, start getting some of these processors going. Well, first of all, try and automate our advanced inscribers so we can make those way easier. We'll look at probably upgrading, or I guess automating, our crystal growth chamber, and then we'll look at expanding out our auto crafting system. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so we were talking about before, I don't know what the accent color is going to be for our base, the main color that we use besides gray. I'm kind of thinking, you know, we are on the green island. We should, or I'm sorry, the lime island. So we should probably look at the lime color, right? It's not bad. It's probably not my favorite, but it's not bad. But since this is the lime island, I think it makes sense that we should go with that color, right? Okay, so let's do that. So in order to get lime, we're gonna need, let's see, yeah, we're gonna need the mystical lime petals. There's a few other ways we can get it. Let's take a look at this. If we look at lime, where is, I guess lime wool would be a good instance of it. So we need floral lime powder, lime dye. And to get lime dye is cactus and bone meal, or green powder and bone meal. So we really don't have a good way of getting lime at this point in time. So I think botany is probably going to be our best way of doing it. So if we do floral, yeah, we want the floral fertilizer. This you can bone meal grass and it'll spawn random types of the botania flowers. And in order to get that, we pretty much need dandelion yellow and rose red plus bone meal to get one. So that's pretty easy for us to do at this point. Let's take a look at Rose, or I guess there would be Poppy. Yeah, I guess we don't have any of those. So I guess it's time to bone meal some grass. I think we've had a bone meal a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. But yeah, we bone meal the grass here. We should be able to get random amounts of these flowers, and we can also vein mine the grass to get rid of it. And that'll be making it pretty easy for us to do this. So we're gonna have to use a decent amount of the floral fertilizer in order to get all the flowers. Yeah, there's no guarantee that we'll get the lime one, right? And I don't want to have to do this, try and make the floral fertilizer, try and not get the flowers. So we'll probably end up making maybe a stack of the floral fertilizer, or I guess somewhere around there. Oh, there's a good amount of our flowers. Yeah, that's really nice. A lot of the red ones. Now I do believe with these, we can also use a thermal expansion machine to get more if we make the phytogenic insulator. I don't know if we're going to go that far just yet. I think we can use a sag mill to get a whole lot of this stuff. Yeah, 80, 60, 30%. Maybe that's not the best. And then we have the pulverizer, which gives us a straight 4 every time. So that maybe that's the better way of doing it. I don't know. Let's try putting one through our sag mill over here with the flint, and let's just see what we get as a result. So 1 yellow. That gives us 2. That only gave us 1. I think we're going to get more out of this if we just put it through the pulverizer. Do we have... Oh, yeah. I made a redstone furnace and a pulverizer here. So, yeah, we can just go ahead and throw those guys in here. It's a little bit slower, but we definitely get 4 for each one, and that's going to help us out in the long run, I do believe, in order to get the amount of these that we need. Let's put one of those in there. Yeah, that'll give us 20 of the red and the yellow, and then we should be able to make a bunch of the floral fertilizer that way. We do need a crafting table because it is 5 items in order to do this. All right, so let's do those. Oh, wait, no. That and then that, right? Yeah, that's the way it is. So we'll just make as many as we can. So that gives us a whole 10. That's not that many, to be quite honest. Now, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get it right away. Wow, first one, huh? First one. Okay, well, I think what I should do, since we already made the floral fertilizer, let's just go ahead and bone meal, or I guess floral fertilize all of the ground here. We'll collect these flowers for later. We're not really going to get into Botania just yet. It is something we will get into eventually. But yeah, getting the lime one on the first attempt, my goodness. I've done this before, trying to look for like the white flowers, which you need to start Botania with. And it's taken me like half a stack before I got that. Yeah, we got really lucky. That's really nice. Okay, well, it looks like lime isn't a rare one. We've seen that one pop up quite a few times. I don't know if we got one of every color. We might have to do some of this stuff again a little bit later. But for right now, I think we're good to go. So pretty much what we need to do, let's go drop off everything out of our inventory, except for the lime ones. And get rid of all of this stuff. And those. I'll keep the bone meal as well. Okay, so the lime flowers. With Botania, you can take the flowers, turn those into the petals, right? And then the petals you can plant and then use shears to harvest tall versions, which give you 4 at a time. So let's make a pair of iron shears. Very good. We'll just come over here to our grass. You can plant this on grass or dirt, or maybe even like coarse dirt. Yeah, I don't know all the different things you can plant it on. But anyway, you plant these down and it turns into little sparkly things. I don't think these grow on their own. I think you have to bone meal it in order for them to grow. But yeah, when you grow them and you shear them, you get 4 of the tall ones. And then if you craft those, you get 4 per. So yeah, you can really expand out the amount of dye that you're getting at a time. Very, very useful. And also, when you're getting into Botania, it's a good way to get all the different petals for all the different type of generating and whatever the other types of flowers are. I can't think of the name of it. It's generating, and then there's the ones that use the mana. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and bone meal these for a little bit of time here. Try and collect a lot of this, and then we need to make a pestle and mortar. Craft the leaves, or I guess the petals with the pestle and mortar to turn into the floral powder. And then we should be able to use that as a dye. All right, I will be right back, guys. So all the lime dye is taken care of, and I guess I looked at this guy. Get away from me, guy. All the lime dye is taken care of, and now we can put that lime dye to use. Now, the reason why I wanted to do that is I wanted to make our ME glass cable the color of our accents, right? So we'll be using that for this and probably for some other things. So ME dense cable, I made patterns to make these now so we can auto craft those. In fact, I'll show you the auto crafts over here. So I made patterns to make the quartz fiber, the ME glass fluix, wool, turning string into wool. We can probably do this with a compacting drawer directly, but we don't have one of those set up, so I just made a recipe for that. Then we have to take the glass cable with the wool, craft those together to make the covered cable. 4 covered cables plus a redstone and a glowstone makes one of these dense cables. And then if you wrap 8 of the fluix around one of the dies, you get the colored versions of them. So we have all of those ready to go. So ME dense cables, if I tell it to make like 24 of those, it'll go really fast because we already have the cables made. Yeah, I'll just have to do the 3 crafts real quick. So there we go, dense cables. So we're going to be using these cables pretty much for running around P2P channels. We could hook up like all of our crafting to it. We can hook up all of our CPUs. And then for running cables all the way over here, with using this one cable, we're only going to be able to get 8 channels. So we can run a dense cable all the way over there, and then we can get 32 channels. But if we run a P2P, we can have like pretty much 32 different blocks of 32 channels if we wanted to. So 32 times 32. I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do with running channels around, and pretty much P2P is the key to unlocking that. So that's what we want to do here. So first things first, this cable that we have running underneath, this just runs right over here onto the auto crafting. I'm going to move the auto crafting downstairs, and we're going to replace this with one of our lime colors. We'll pretty much use this cable specifically for at the end of our P2Ps. All of our P2P connections will be green, or the lime color. So that'll probably be most of the cabling that we see around here. When we're just connecting things directly to the network, we'll probably use the fluix. I think that's how that's gonna end up working. So first thing we need to do, we need to get some P2P channels over here. So I have some P2P tunnels. And like I said, everything that has to do with P2P, we're gonna coat green, or I guess the lime color. Oh, you know what? Oops. We do need to get ourselves some of the cable anchors to separate these connections as well. So let's get ourselves a glass, or is it quartz? Quartz cutting knife? Yeah, we can use Certus quartz or another quartz. Both of them are the same, they just use different material. So we'll get a quartz cutting knife, and then we need to place that with some kind of an ingot. Iron is the most inexpensive ingot we have, and that gives us some of these cable anchors, so we'll just make a few of those. All right, that'll probably be more than what we need for the entire series. So let's come up here real quick. So we have those dense cables. I think, do I want to use those? No. I want to use regular dense cable. So let's grab these here. All right, so the way this is gonna work, we're gonna put a cable anchor here, and then we're going to put our dense cable right there. So that keeps the connection from connecting over here. I don't really know if that would matter. This cable can only hold 32 channels, and you get 32 per phase. But I want to make sure that I know where this cable is connected, not that some of it's going here and some of it's going over there, right? Anyway, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to separate these again by just placing the cable anchors right like so. So these cables aren't touching each other. They have plenty of room to do what they need to do. So this last one we need to do on both sides here. So it's not connecting to this cable and it's not connecting to this block. There we go. So now all of those are separate and all of those are 32 channels. So we can take our P2P tunnels here and we can just slap those right on right like so. Now you can, I've said this before in a lot of different series before, you can take the P2P tunnels and place them directly on the controller to get 32 channels. There's not a lot of reason other than it's very helpful to use the dense cable right here. I like putting them there so I can see how many channels per P2P is being used. Otherwise, you have no idea when you go and look for more channels to use. Like, you won't really know how many channels this thing is using unless you have a visual indicator here. So that's why I like doing it this way. Now, I did mess that one up. Let's go ahead and replace that. I think I need to put that guy back right like that and place this one down like so. All right, I think we're good. And then we need to place the P2Ps on here. For some reason, as I'm walking on this, like I'm sliding. I like barely tap and it keeps me moving, and it's like making me slide off. It's kind of weird. I don't know why those are acting like glass. Okay, so there we go. There is 5 P2P connections there. We do need to get those connected to our network. So I'm gonna come down here and get some ME glass cable. Let's make some of this green stuff. We'll just make 8 of those. Like so. I keep saying green. When I say green, I mean lime green, obviously. All right, so we'll take these. And again, we will put a cable anchor here so we know right where this is connecting. And this is going to be connecting over here to this particular controller. Yeah. So we have 5 channels going into this guy right here. And then we have all of these channels available everywhere in our network now. Yeah, this is going to be really good. Looks like the server's about to restart, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I moved our auto crafting interface and our molecular assemblers down here. I've laid out some of the ME dense cable. We can have up to 32 interfaces per one of these cables. Otherwise, then we just run out of channels. That's the maximum you can have. So this is 8 long. There's going to be 4 per ring, 8 rings long, right? So we'll have 32. And then I have another one over here so we can set up 2 of these. As we need to expand, we'll be able to expand, right? So yeah, pretty much the first thing we need to do is get our channels down here. So up above, I've removed the Fluix cable that we had here and replaced it with our lime that's going down into the floor here. And then we need to bring it over. Now again, these only support up to 8 channels per cable, right? But we need 32 channels. That's why we're doing the P2P. All right, so we can bring, I guess we can put a P2P here that'll connect to all of these. And then we can attach our lime cable like so. And then just bring that all the way up. And that should connect up with our other cable over here. Like so. And there we go. So that's the connection made, but we still have to say, hey, this P2P talks to this thing up here, right? So we made a memory card here. You can see it says blank. I haven't done anything with it yet. So now we need to link it up to one of these guys. It doesn't really matter which one, but we need to link it up to one. I'm going to assume this one is the one we're going to want. So this is, you need to shift right click on it, right? So this is now going to be the sending. And then we have to right click to load those settings on whichever P2P we want it to be on, which will be this one right here. So that should now give it, does it say, it says device online, unlinked. That should say linked here in a little bit, I think. Right? It should. Pretty sure I've done everything right. Maybe the tooltip is wrong. I'm not seeing any channels showing up here. And it might take Applied Energistics a few moments to recognize that, hey, this is what we've done. Still not seeing anything, which has got me a little concerned. Let me go upstairs and make sure we've done everything correctly up here. So we have this guy connected to, it says this one's unlinked. Let me try doing it again. Shift right click, copy device configuration, and we'll just right click it on the bottom one. Right click. Oh, okay. So it says linked. Output side. Now it says device missing channel online. And there we go. I must have shift right clicked this one. So I copied this one's settings. What does it say? Copy, loaded, copy. Oh, I did. That's what I did. I shift right clicked this one like a derp. Okay, so now we got these all set. So we're using 4 channels. Again, we can make this 7 longer and then have all 32 channels. And then again, we're going to want this one to be connected eventually as well. So we can hook this cable up just the same. Just do this, bring it down. And we will want to put the P2P on here first. Otherwise, this cable will just link up to this and it'll just be a mess. So I'll put that there and then we'll bring it down the final block like so. Okay, so we can do that, or we can bring down another P2P from the corner over here and bring the cable over. I don't know. It looks kind of messy, but you know, it's going to work, right? So, hello. That guy's right in my face. Let's come up here and let's get another one. So you can see this one says it's using 4 channels. The one downstairs says it's using 4 channels. So we're pulling all the connections from here and putting it down there. So we'll do the same thing on this one. Let me grab this. So we'll shift right click on this one, copy device, and down we go. And then we can just right click, loaded device. So now it says device missing channel. And once Applied Energistics says, hey, we have an item here, it comes online. and then it tries to find items on that network. So yeah, we should be good to go. Now it's just a matter of making all of these things and getting them all hooked up, and then it'll give us a lot more room in our applied energistics for all the different patterns we're probably going to end up making. So now that we got this cable down here, we can run more P2Ps off of it and get more channels going. So we have these inscribers, which will probably end up sitting over here somewhere. I'm not sure how many of these we're going to have. Probably one for each of the different types of processors. We're going to want one for silicon, and we're going to want at least one for putting the processors together. Now we can make this better by having 3 silicon and 3 ones that put the processors together in case we have to make all 3 types of processors at the same time. We won't be bottlenecked. But for right now, for our basic crafting, that should be all we need to do. Now we got one of these in here that already is fully upgraded. We'll just place that one right here. Okay, so we have 5 things here. These don't use channels, but they do require power. But in order to automate this, we are going to have to use channels because we're going to have to use interfaces. So it says, hey, 1 diamond equals an engineering processor, right? And then we're going to need to find a way to extract out of these and put it back into the ME system. So that's the next thing we need to do, is make, I guess 5 interfaces. So we have that on AutoCraft. We can say make 5 of those. We need pure nether quartz in order to do this. That's going to be one of the other things that we're going to have to set up for auto crafting. Okay, so let's look for quartz. Yeah, one of those. Sand we have plenty of. Man, it's gone down like 100,000 since we started. That's a lot. Let's just make a few of these seeds so we don't have to worry about this for a minute. All right, so 4 stacks. That's going to be plenty. This thing is still up here. I thought I brought it down. I didn't. I did not. There we go. So all of those are going to be growing up, turning into the pure nether quartz. I'll go and make our interfaces, and we'll go and look at hooking those up. All right, so here we go. We're making patterns now. So we're going to say a printed silicon circuit plus a redstone plus a printed silicon is going to equal a calculation processor. And there's our pattern for it. So I got patterns to make a silicon into the printed silicon, gold into the printed logic, pure Certus quartz into printed calculation, and a diamond into the printed engineering. And then we put them all together with these recipes down here. So down below, we have our interfaces on our inscribers. Now we just need to place in the recipes into these. So this one is our silicon. This one is our logic. We have our calculation, then our engineering right here. And then the final one can combine all of those parts together. All right, so that's the way that's set up. And you can see that we have calculation, logic, silicon, and finally engineering in this one. Right. So we got everything hooked up here. Now on the back of these, I put some Ender IO cables or a conduit. They're all set to extract, always active, right? And then we just have that going into this middle interface for insert. So everything that these things make, they'll just get extracted and put right back into, it doesn't matter if it's the same interface, it just has to be any interface in the network. System's like, oh, I got what I requested, and then the recipe is now complete. So the final step of this is we do have to hook up our P2P one more time. Went up one too many flights. Let's come over here. We'll do our middle one this time. So the middle one, this one, shift right click on that guy. And we will right click on this one. Okay. So the reason why, for those of you who might be wondering, we have the P2P tunnel going into a dense, going into a regular, and so we can still use more channels here. So we have 32 available channels. If we just use this cable all the way up, we would only be able to use 8 of those. So I put a dense cable here so we can pull more channels off and bring something else over here or whatever. So we don't have to put P2Ps everywhere, but we want to use the P2Ps to bring our channels into a location that's more convenient, right? Okay, so we got that all hooked up here. So everything should be ready. So if I come upstairs and I say, make me a, how about a logic? Let's make a logic processor. Next. So it says we have 1 gold. Let's do it. It's crafting. Things are happening. It's going quite slow because we don't have any acceleration in there. And there we go. There's 1 logic processor. Or did I tell it to do the wrong thing? Oh, you know what? Maybe I told it to make the circuit, not the processor. I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, you can see now that it's going to take a silicon plus one of those printed logic circuits to make this. We'll try that again. And there we go. There is a logic processor. So we have all of our we have all of our circuits on AutoCraft now, which is great. The other thing is we do need to get this guy down here, a crystal growth chamber. So we'll have to make recipes that'll combine the sand plus the other items to make the seeds that'll grow up in here, or a fourth recipe that'll combine charged certus plus nether quartz plus redstone to make the fluix, right? So it's going to be the same kind of a thing. It'll just be another little spot down here with an interface on it, those patterns, and we'll just be extracting out of the back into the interface. Pretty simple. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here for today, guys. We got a good start on our auto crafting. I think off camera, I'll probably be making some acceleration cards, getting everything a little bit more speedy, making some more of our interfaces over here, and hopefully try to line all of this extra cabling with all of our auto crafting stuff, just so we have that taken care of. I think that's going to be a smart next move. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.